Warning, this show has outdated attitudes, language, and views which may cause offense today. If you don't like it, suck it.
This video is not intended for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Humanity, look how far you've fallen. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki. Good morning, Lady Miss. The Guardian of the Void is here, ladies and gentlemen. Mark the Infinitely Tired, Purple Valkyrie, and Samantha Joe. The Valkyries are here. The Jester of Sin. Good morning, Jester. Eris of Chaos, the Battle Angel, is here. Chris Persia, the Wrench of Wrenches. Doctor and author Adega Outlaw is here. The Doctor of Disaster and Destruction. Curry, good morning. Nina Green, good morning. How are you, Nina Green? Benra Fire, good morning. Yodam Darkstar, good morning, sir. How is everyone doing out there? Mary's Game Room, good morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Gun Bunny. It's Friday. Yeah, it is the end of the week. It is the end of our week. Good morning, everyone. Philip Demick, Trinoculus P, Rambling Canuck. Good morning, guys. Man, what a week. What a week it has been. We had Star Trek yesterday. Geeter 92, good morning. We've got Star Wars today. Jedi Bill 797. Good morning, Jedi Bill. Man, Dave Bob, what a week. It has been absolutely nuts this week with the news.
Good morning, Valhalla.
Yeah, hell yeah. We might have a special guest on today too, because we're going to talk a little bit about the Mandalorian and the lead up into season 2 coming out on the 30th of this month. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to split the first season. We've got the first 4 episodes we're going to talk about today, along with some extra stuff. We're going to talk about some of the actors and the actresses that are on this show. And we'll split up with the second week. Will be the second half, and we'll talk about, more of the actors and more of the cast, more of the possibilities, some of the history of the Mandalorians, at least the history I know. God knows if that's still the history or not, because Disney's so bass-ackwards right now. It's ridiculous, taking out the EU. But it'll be a good couple of Fridays, and we will go into the Mandalorian on the 30th. Hail, Pod Racing Palpatine. How are you doing, brother? It's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting. So while we wait on our special guest, let's go over the cast a little bit. We have got, in this first episode, we've got, of course, Pedro Pascal as the Mandalorian. We've got Carl Weathers. I'm a huge Carl Weathers fan ever since, back in the day, as Grief Karga You know, we've got Apollo Creed himself in Star Wars as Grief Cargo. We've got Werner Herzog as the client, Nick Nolte as Quill, and a lot of people probably didn't even know that was Nick Nolte. That it is the way, you know. Or I have spoken.
I have spoken.
I have spoken. Taika Waititi is IG-11. And a beautiful woman that you never see in the episode. You never see her face anyways, Emily Swallow, and she played the armorer. She played the Mandalorian armorer, the matriarch of the clan, the woman that was pounding out the Beskar armor. You never even see her face. Absolutely wonderful actress. I'll pull up a picture of her real quick.
It's a shame you don't get to see her. She's beautiful.
Let's see. Share screen. Yeah, right there. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful actress. And you never even get to see her. Pod Racing Palpatine says that was a surprise, Nolte as an Ugnaught. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A very intelligent Ugnaught.
Very old Ugnaught.
Yeah, a very old Ugnaught. He was, what did he tell Cara Dune? 3 generations?
Yeah, like three lifetimes or something.
As a slave for the Empire. But yeah, you never. They got this wonderful, beautiful actress, and you never get to see her face. Why? Because Mandalorians don't remove their helmets. We'll get to that next episode. I personally think it was a mistake. They showed Pedro in the what was it, the last episode or the second to last episode, whatever it was, when they take off his helmet. That was a total mistake.
I think it was 7, or it may have been 8. I can't remember.
The first episode, and this takes me way back, guys, because this was right when I started live streaming. These came out. This was the first series that I covered ever live. And I was getting up in the mornings. I was watching the episodes right before the show. So I'd watch the episode. I talked to Dave Bob. Me and Dave Bob were doing these originally together. And we'd watch the episodes and talk about it a little bit before the show. So this kind of takes me back. I don't know if it takes you back, Dave Bob, but it takes me back.
Well, I think actually what we did was Picard.
Was that first?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Huh.
I mean, I was watching you, and I was, but I think it was Picard where we actually were doing commentary.
Let me see. When did this come out? This came out, of course, all it says is 2000. Oh, November 2019. No, I hadn't started live streaming yet. That's why I'm thinking this came first, because when this came out, I didn't start live streaming till January.
Yeah, you started. I remember you started doing some streams on it, but it was towards the end. It wasn't right when it first started.
And our guest is here. I would like to welcome a special guest we've got on the morning show this morning. And this is Moira Kitty. Hello, Moira Kitty. How are you doing this morning?
Tired but okay.
Good morning, Moira.
Morning, darling. How are you?
Doing good.
I've never had you on the show. I've never had you on the morning show before. It is such an honor to have you on here.
No way, because I was feeling the same way about you, actually.
So I know you stream. How's it been going? How have you been doing?
Well, it's unfortunately come to a bit of a slowdown because of Twitter and YouTube issues.
Yeah, that seems to be happening to everybody right now. Everybody's kind of having an issue with Twitter and YouTube.
Well, it's more the people on it.
Oh, you know what? Unfortunately, yeah, unfortunately, that's the kind of thing that that always seems to happen one way or another. And oh, you got a fan. Look at this MB Geek. Loki, man, love those tattoos. MB Geek is loving those tattoos, Moira. That is so cool.
I have a 50 cal Desert Eagle tattooed on my lower back as well.
Cool.
I hate that they call it a tramp stamp, so I picked the least trampy thing possible to get tattooed there.
50 caliber Desert Eagle is absolutely positively not trampy at all. No, that is a big damn gun. Most people can't even fire that gun.
Let me make sure it's not going to be anything inappropriate, because the handle is supposed to be where, like if you actually had the gun back there, like kind of at an angle, so you can like see the handle of it. I just want to make sure I'm not doing anything inappropriate on your stream.
Oh wow!
There you go.
That's why I was adjusting to make sure, because I'm not trying to disrespect someone else's stream. You know, I'm like, okay.
And Gun Bunny, Moira, I like your ink.
I like your name.
Bunny had a gun.
Oh, he's gonna freestyle it. Ooh. Sorry.
Oh no!
I'm surprisingly chipper for someone who hasn't slept yet.
Oh yeah, that's all.
I have bad insomnia. Oftentimes I can't sleep till sunrise or past, and I was talking to people on Twitter and stuff, and I remembered Purple Valkyrie being really nice and extending. Oh, and you extending your niceness, and I was like, you know, I'm awake. When does this show start? She goes 20 minutes. Went. Let me get my hair and face on. Excuse me, and my ears apparently, and. I was like, all right. And I was like, what are we talking about? And she's like, Mandalorian. I went, I will do my best. I saw about episode 4, and then our Disney Plus subscription ran out.
Well, that's what we're covering, is episode 1 through 4.
Thank God. Thank God. Okay.
1 through 4. You timed it perfectly.
Because the only reason we had Disney Plus is because we had like renewed a subscription or something, and Disney Plus was like a bonus package. Yep. So we didn't feel conflicted about giving Disney money per se, because
you got a free month.
You kind of want to see the show, but you also kind of don't want to feed the beast. So it's like, so I made the best of it while we had it.
Understandable.
Yeah, and it's not that I'm really trying to be like everybody else and bag on Disney, but we can all agree that they could do better. Like,
they could do a lot better.
I agree, but everybody has varying degrees of like or dislike. Like didn't they do the renew of Aladdin?
Oh yeah,
the remake, yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and actually, to be honest, despite all the bagging on it, I actually thought it was not bad. To be honest, Lion King looked like a shit show. I couldn't make myself watch that. That's not live action. That's CGI. There's a difference. When you say live action, I expect to see actual lions.
Yeah.
The preview was disappointing, but Aladdin was not bad. Everybody dogged on it, and I'm like, yeah, it's different from when we were kids, but this isn't bad. I've seen worse.
I think it was because Robin Williams. How do you follow that? How do you follow Robin Williams as the genie?
I think they knew they weren't going to be able to follow Robin Williams, and that's why Will Smith kind of made it his own instead of trying to impersonate him.
Yeah.
You know, and Will Smith has his own charisma and his own charm and his own legacy in his own right. And so he just kind of made it his own instead of trying to gravy stains?
Gravy stains.
Okay, he's saying you're wearing his ears. You're wearing his ears.
No gravy stains, sir. I'm afraid you just misplaced yours. But hi, Steven Seagal. I was talking to him a little while ago. He's been such a sweetheart. Like, him and a few others have been just absolutely so nice to me. I mean, they're all nice to me, like, regularly, but like extra nice the last few days. Like,
Well, we have a tradition here. When someone sends in a super chat, even a Canadian one, Steven Seagal, we give them a skull. So if you'd like, on 3, we're gonna yell skull. We're gonna skull, which means cheers in Scandinavian. In old Viking mythology, they would raise their horns and say skull.
I am totally okay with that.
That is awesome. So on 3, 1, 2, 3, skull!
There it is! Take your hat off, boy. That's $1 bill.
Thank you so very much.
Take your hat off. That's $1 bill. That's a million ways to die in the West, is it?
Yes,
not?
yes, it is.
I say, boy, take that hat off. That's $1 bill.
That I can't believe they had Mr. Beldy on there. It nearly died. It's like, so this tonic has flannel in it? I was like, oh man, like that poor bastard.
And Colin P. Smith says, apart from Robin Williams' absence, I suspect a lot of the kickback at the live action Aladdin was that it was seen as an unnecessary remake and just a cash grab.
Yeah.
Most movies are going to be a cash grab. Nobody wants to make a movie for free, usually.
Well, the thing about it is they're creatively bankrupt. They can't come up with anything new. They just try to rehash the same old
They
stuff.
move on with dumpster fire.
I do have one theory, other than lack of creativity. I think one of the issues is that we are now in a different era than we were when we were like 10 years old. And it's possible they're trying to stick to what they feel is safe because they're afraid to come up with something new. It's going to offend somebody, and they're going to find themselves in some trouble. And so they're trying to just redo what was already done because they're afraid if you get too creative, they're going to piss off one side or the other. Like, because, I mean, it's hard to come up with new stories anymore that isn't a ripoff of something. I mean, like that movie, 10 Things I Hate About You, was a very loose adaptation of Taming of the Shrew.
Yep, Taming of the Shrew. She was the shrew. Yeah, believe it or not, I actually have seen that
She
movie.
played Shrew quite well. But yeah, so one way or another, there's nothing new under the sun. There's always going to be some readaptation of something. And everybody is walking on thin ice. What's allowed on screen? What's not? Occlusion, this, that. So they're trying to figure out, okay, so what worked before, and let's see if we can tweak it a little.
Yeah, but you do have stuff like the Joker. I mean, they didn't give a rip, and that movie made $1 billion.
And it didn't make Warner Brothers a thing. That was the amazing part about the
And
Joker.
it offended a shitload of people, and it still did well.
Yeah, it didn't make Warner Brothers a dime. They had investors that were making money back from the profits. So by the time they paid the investors back, they barely made a thing off that movie. It was absolutely insane. That
You'd think they at least get royalties off like DVD sales and.
Yep, but the theatrical release, almost all of that money went to their investors. And a $2 super chat from Psychodork9. Dear Holly Weird, write new stories. Thank you so very much, Psychodork9. And we're going to give you a skull as well, brother. Skull!
There it is! Take your hat off, boy. That's $1 bill.
Since we're going to yell cheers, I was going to have a chug of my juice every time. I don't drink alcohol, and it is way too early.
I'm drinking coffee. I don't drink alcohol much anymore either.
Oh, coffee? Oh, I would just about mainline coffee. Coffee is life.
The coffee must flow.
Let the coffee flow through you.
So we were talking The Mandalorian, and we were talking episode 1, and of course you've got this weird opening. And when I first saw it, I was just kind of like, I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I like the music. This weird blue guy they've got on here is annoying as hell. I hope they don't keep him on the show, and they don't. He's only on the show for like 5 minutes. But then you see the scene where they're at the spaceport, and that giant worm comes out and starts trying to eat the ship. And I was like, holy shit, this is cool. And he goes back and he like shocks it. And me and Dave Bob were talking about the carbonite freezers, and you didn't like those, Dave Bob.
Well, I just thought it was a little bit too contrived, but I guess you got to have some way. If you're going after multiple prisoners, you can't, keep them in a cell and feed them and all of that.
So he ends up going after a bounty that he doesn't have any idea about. And I originally called this episode No Puck when I did my review of it, and it was before I started live streaming. In fact, if it was November, I for some weird reason I thought I'd live stream the review for this, but the episode was called. They didn't have a name. It was just The Mandalorian. So I'm like, okay, fuck it, I'll come up with the name. They said this bounty didn't have a puck, so I'll call it No Puck.
Yeah.
And if you crawl back into the ancient Loki videos, the actual video, the name of the video I called No Puck. No Puck review of episode 1 of The Mandalorian. But you find out about Baby Yoda. You meet IG-11.
I enjoyed this. Yeah, I enjoyed the episode a lot. Well, the big worm, kind of looked like a cross between alligator and a shrimp or something with a big mouth on it. That thing was pretty cool as an opening scene, but well, not opening scene, but one of the first monsters you see in it. Enjoyed that. Was a little wondering, when the guy had to go to the bathroom and he went down there and he found all the guns. Why didn't he get one of the guns? But hey, that's me,
I totally agree. That sounds like my dad when he used to we would watch an action film and they'd shoot a bad guy and then leave. He's like, pick up the gun.
Oh, I used to get so pissed. There was a horror movie called Virus, and this guy literally puts down his gun and picks up a flashlight and takes it into a dark room. And I'm like, oh yeah, let's put down our gun and pick up our trusty flashlight.
Yeah.
How about we just, what kind of gun was it?
It was just a handgun.
Yeah, then you can sit there going like this, hold the gun like this with the flashlight right here and do both.
Well, these were morons. You've always got your morons in horror movies.
Or writing them. Good Lord.
So they go through the motions. You meet Nick Nolte as Quill, and he helps the Mandalorian. Yeah,
that was Nick Nolte?
That was Nick Nolte as the Ugnaught.
The little short guy.
I Have Spoken. The I Have Spoken guy, that was Nick Nolte. Yeah,
they had to have some kind of forced perspective on that because he's not that small.
No. The actual actress that played him is Misty Roses.
That's a nice name. Sounds like a stripper name, but nice name. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm sorry. If her name had been Mercedes, I'd have said the same thing.
No, you're absolutely. You're absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Was that not expected from a girl? I apologize.
No, don't apologize. No, you're.
I'm sorry,
great.
Morning audience.
No, you're great. We know we play it fast and loose, so you can pretty much say anything on the show.
Yeah.
Right.
Loki hadn't dropped an F-bomb yet, but it's probably coming. Maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe. I like this show though, so I don't know about F-bomb this show or not.
It's got to flow organically.
Yeah, it's got exactly. You can't.
On my channel, it just flows organically. Profanity, maybe not. We shall see.
Yeah, exactly.
I very seldom curse, but if it's appropriate, it will happen.
It's called a sentence enhancer.
Yeah, you can't just come on and be like, F, F-D, F, F, F. No.
Yeah, it's like you just learned that new word.
I saw a stream. I don't remember what the gentleman's name was, but it was like every other word, and I'm like, do you realize how? Yeah, do you realize how unintelligent you sound just throwing it out there every other word? It doesn't have to be every other word. Use it when you feel it, when it's right and you feel it and the fire's burning. Yes. And MB Geek Let's Talk with a $5 super chat in Twitter jail for 4 more days. I did not bend the knee when they nuked my last account. Not going to do it now. This is Valhalla. We don't back down. No, we do not.
Damn Skippy.
NB Geek. And we've got a follow-up $2 super chat from Fat Steven Skull 8 Pablo Hidalgo. Moira, they've had worse with me on the show. You timid.
I'm not timid. I'm getting a feel for the room instead of just making myself at home on the first go here.
And thank you so very much, gentlemen. And here we go, guys. 1, 2, 3, score!
There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
Thank you so very much.
I don't know why I keep laughing every time I see that.
Oh, I do. Shit, I've run that thing 1,000 times, and I laugh my ass off every time I see it. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
That's a dollar bill. Yeehaw!
Oh my.
So, of course, at the end of this episode, you get to see Baby Yoda for the first time. I don't know about you guys, but I was shocked. I was like, holy shit.
I was a little salty they made me wait that long, to be fair. Because everybody, let's be honest, everybody was there for the Baby Yoda. Like, you made us wait till the last bit. Like, come on. The middle I can see, but it's like, come on, don't play with us. Come on. We know what we're here for. Let's fork them over. Come on.
Yeah. The very last scene, almost the very last scene in the first show. Yeah. And then when I looked at him, and he said 50 years old, and he said,
I'm like, really?
Yeah. And then I'm thinking, okay, the average life expectancy, Yoda was like 800, I think, when he
800 or 900, yeah.
Yeah.
When he just kind of,
that's almost like 10 years for us is like 100 years for them. So he's like maybe 5 years old, comparatively is the way I look.
Yeah, but he's like probably the equivalent of 5 years old, but like a little smarter because he still had more self-awareness. Like,
yeah,
when he knew this trouble, he's like,
I don't know. I have a 5-year-old grandson. He's pretty smart.
Okay, it's true. It does vary.
So chapter 2, of course, is the child. And the synopsis reads, after fighting off some bounty hunters who were tracking the child, the Mandalorian returns to his ship to find it scavenged by Jawas. And as Dave Bob said earlier, they busted that thing down like a Cadillac in the middle of the bad part of town.
It was up on blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
And they've got to get an egg. I heard people talk a lot of smack about this episode after it came out. There were a lot of reviews that did not like this episode. The Jawas, stripped the ship down. Quill helps them talk to the Jawas after he just disintegrates like 8 of them. With they just don't like him now.
Yeah,
and
I can imagine why. After 80 of your buddies get disintegrated in front of you.
You can also understand disintegrating them because they were kind of coming at you sideways. I mean,
well, they were stripping his ship. He was just kind of defending his property.
Yep.
I don't know anything about Liverpool, but I'm going to guess at least the south side of Oklahoma City. We all have our own south side of Oklahoma City somewhere.
So he ends up having to work for them. Quill tells him, you're going to have to do a job. You're going to have to do something. And they want the egg. Egg. And you're like, what the hell are they saying? Because you can't really understand them. Oh, they want something. So they want you to go and get this egg. And he ends up.
What egg?
Yeah.
Oh, that egg. Oh, good God.
And Wookiee supremacy. I love that episode. That was one of the better ones.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. He got his butt handed to him by that mudhorn.
Yeah. Yeah, that bull Mudhorn kicked the crap on him. Would have killed him if it wasn't for little baby Yoda
Oh, yeah.
raising his hand up.
Yeah. Like it's like a rhinoceros made by Monsanto. It's
Yeah, about 3 times bigger.
woof.
And furry.
Oh yeah, furry. Yep, had to have the furry. Even the egg
I
was furry.
think he was. Okay, so water buffalo and rhinoceros.
And what? Yeah, it's like a water buffalo and a rhinoceros.
That or what? Back the extinct rhinos that had all the hair back, kind of like the woolly mammoth.
Yeah,
I forgot about those.
Pod Racing Palpatine. He mercilessly murdered Jawas, just plain evaporating them. Yeah.
At least they didn't suffer.
Yeah, he also evaporated one of the bounty hunters that was trying to get the child at the first or the second episode here.
It's a cutthroat business.
Yeah, he did. He evaporated him as he was coming at him. He goes and he fights this thing, and you get the idea earlier because he's injured after that fight with the bounty hunters before he goes and fights the water buffalo or the water rhino, whatever we're gonna call it. But the baby Yoda reaches out his hand on his wound, and you're like, yeah, Moira's guy, and you're like, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna heal him? And the Mandalorian's
that's
like,
what he was gonna do. I mean, I couldn't think of anything else he was gonna do. So I figured I was like, let's see how this goes.
And he puts the baby back in the little floating cradle.
I know how handy is that.
And that's, and later you get to the point where the rhino's attacking him and fighting him. It's gonna kill him, and you see that little hand come up out of the cradle, and he floats it. He floats the rhino. The Mandalorian gets the egg, takes it back to the Jawas, and of course, what did the Jawas do? They crack that son of a bitch open and start scooping out the yolk and eating it.
Oh, it was nasty.
Can you get salmonella from that? Like
all that yellow stringy stuff coming out.
woof.
But overall, it was a good episode. I personally thought it was one of the weaker episodes, except when he's taking out the Jawas. I was laughing my ass off.
Oh yeah, when I saw his ship, I just shook my head. And what really kind of tickled me was he got in it with all the parts stripped, trying to start the engines. I mean, what kind of idiot was going to do that? I mean.
And Pod Racing Palpatine, like a Cadbury's cream egg, it looked lush.
Whoa.
Colin P, now I need to make an omelet. Fenrir fired good eats.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. A Jawa has to eat, too. A Dega outlaw.
Big old hairy egg. But did you notice his armor after the fight? It was just hanging in shreds off of his chest plate, was just sprung loose and just kind of flopping in the breeze. He got pretty damn messed up.
Well, we'll get more into the armor in the next episode, but the armor he's got are all hand-me-downs.
Yep.
You hear him talk to the armor about give this to the future Mandalorians. I can't remember exactly what words he used, but basically he says make sure these
foundlings
are the foundlings. Yes, the foundlings are the future of the Mandalorian mercenaries, and their children that they found and kind of adopted into the clan, and they'll train them to be Mandalorians. And what he's giving them is he's giving them the Beskar medal to pass down to the foundlings, so the foundlings will have armor. All the armor he has is armor that he was given as he was becoming a Mandalorian. None of it did he earn except for his helmet. The helmet he had to earn. That was like his gift for becoming a full-fledged Mandalorian.
And I remember there was talk about him not being able to take it off, and I'm like, how does this guy shower?
He can take it off in private.
Oh, all right. Well, I found that later on, but when it was first talking about it, that was one of the first things that came to mind. I'm like,
Yeah, he's got to eat. You can't eat with that thing on.
Right? You gotta eat, you gotta sleep, perhaps
And-
copulate.
And Soul Assassin brings up something interesting. I thought the Mandalorian and his clan were Death Watch and hiding. No, Soul Assassin. There was Death Watch is only a part of the Mandalorian clans. There were Mandalorian clans still out in the galaxy, even during the Clone Wars. They were just mercenaries in hiding. That's one of the reasons why they were in hiding. Death Watch was just one clan.
There are many clans.
Yeah, there are many clans. So Death Watch is just one clan of the Mandalorian clans. In the Clone Wars, you find out that the Mandalorians are these peaceful people on this planet. The truth is, if you go back to the Old Republic, the Mandalorians were a race of warriors that invaded the Republic, and the Republic was getting its ass kicked. The Jedi Council said, we will not interfere with this war. We're not going to let our Jedi Knights go and fight this war for you. You have to fight this war on your own. And some of the Jedi disobeyed, and they went and fought with the Republic anyway. The showdown for this was at a planet called Malachor 5, and that planet was destroyed by a weapon, a planet cracker that cracked the crust of the planet and made it uninhabitable. That is where all the Beskar came from. That planet is where the Mandalorians mined the metal that they had in their armor, and that armor is impervious to even a lightsaber. So if a lightsaber hits that Beskar armor, it'll just bounce right off of it. It can't cut through it.
Wow.
And after that happened, the Mandalorians were scattered. Go ahead, Moira.
I know this is probably a weird question, but if a lightsaber, which I'm assuming is going to be relatively hot, cannot cut through it, how do they do the metallurgy to form it and mold it?
Well, you kind of see with the armor, she uses special techniques and a special furnace to where she can forge the armor.
Well, I saw them forging it, but I'm sitting here like, is it hotter than a lightsaber? Like, that's why I was kind of like,
It's a very special forging process that only the Mandalorians know how to do. Even the Empire didn't understand how to form it in armor. They put it in bricks. You see those bricks of metal that the Mandalorian is given, and they're stamped with the Imperial seal. The Empire did not know how to forge that into armor, but they knew they didn't want anybody else having it and being able to forge it into armor. Because if you were to like line a ship with this metal, that ship is impervious to all damage.
ooh, sure enough.
Now, eventually, over time, over like decades, that armor is going to lose its integrity. That metal, of course, is going to wear down. But in a battle, you could hit a ship line with that, with a proton torpedo, laser blast, whatever, and it's just going to bounce right off of it. It's not going to have any effect on the ship.
Yeah, but you have to have a very large amount of that to do that, and Beskar is just so valuable and so rare that they can't really do it.
That's why they have that woman as the matriarch of the clan. She is an armorer, so she is the most valuable member of that clan. She knows the old secrets of forging Beskar into armor. That's why she is the matriarch and she is the leader of the clan, because she was given the secrets of forging. No Mandalorian would give that secret up to the Empire. And the Empire hunted down the Mandalorians. The Empire didn't want those Mandalorians around because they knew that the clones they used in their army during the Clone Wars are all Mandalorians. Because Jango Fett was a Mandalorian. So if you were watching, Attack of the Clones back in the day, I knew exactly what they were. When you see that army of stormtroopers, I'm like, holy shit, they've got an army of Jedi killers. Because that's what the Mandalorians did, and they did it well. That's why the armor later talks, when she talks to the Mandalorian, she tells him about a race of sorcerers that used to exist. Of course, those are the Jedi. So we are on to episode 3, The Sin, and Mando returns the bounty and uses the reward to forge an entire armor set. At the covert underground lair, the other Mandalorian bounty hunters express their disdain with consorting with the enemy in reference to the Great Purge. That is, of course, when the Empire hunted down and tried to kill all the Mandalorians, where many Mandalorians, including Mando's family, were systematically killed. Kind of like Order 66. They have since lived in hiding, appearing one at a time so as not to reveal their numbers. Now that Mando is the most sought bounty hunter in the Parsec, their presence will be even less. However, since Mando did not violate the code, he has done no wrong and is therefore not dishonoring them. They do pick on him. And one of the Mandalorians was played by Jon Favreau. And that's the big, thick one that pushes the Mandalorian around and almost fights him.
Yeah, he was kind of almost like a, I don't know, they called him a special name, kind of like he was, a shock trooper or something. But that's not what they called it. But it's something similar to that. He wasn't just a regular Mandalorian like Mando was.
And pod racing Palpatine, I thought the race of sorcerers she referred to was the Weasleys. Yeah,
the nerdy
big,
crossover there.
The big thick one, Fenrir Fire, yeah. The
Yeah.
big thick one.
The robust.
Favreau is a big, thick guy.
Yeah. But hey, you know what? If I was making this, you're damn right. I'd be like, make me a set of armor because I'm going to play one of the Mandalorians. Damn straight. If I was Jon Favreau, I would have done the same shit. I want a set of Mandalorian armor, and I want to be in this show as a Mandalorian.
Yeah. And I want to fly.
Yeah, I want to fly. You see him with the jetpack. You absolutely do see him flying with the jetpack. And he gives a salute to the Mandalorian as he's flying next to Mando's ship. He gives him this salute, and you're like, oh, hell yes. When you see the Mandalorians come out in this episode and they kick the shit out of the Imperial troopers, I was just like, holy shit. They have hit it. They've done it.
Yeah, and all of the bounty hunters helped out with them too.
Yeah.
Some OK Corral shit going on.
Yes, that was definitely some OK
It was
Corral
taking me a
shit.
minute to remember the name of it. I was like, Tombstone. I was sitting there trying to get to that. OK Corral. There we go.
I'm your Huckleberry. Why, that's just my game.
Oh, yes. Oh, Doc Holliday. Oh, sorry.
I'll tell you what, Val Kilmer, I don't think anybody else could have played that part.
No, I don't even want to fathom that. No. He was so posh in his assholeness. It was great.
You know, and
You know,
Kurt Russell was
And I love that red vest he had on, too. God, I want him.
The
that whole
first
movie
time
was great.
the first time I met Dr. Adega Outlaw, I saw the glasses, the round shades Adega had. I said, this is the Doc Holliday of YouTube. He is the Doc Holliday.
I don't think I've ever seen his face.
Yeah.
I am missing out.
He's got these round glasses that are just. Go ahead, Dave Bob.
I said, yeah, his glasses are kick ass. I mean, they're just, they fit him.
Adega, you've been holding out.
Yeah, he's laughing his ass off back there because he knows. I was like, "You're the Doc Holliday of YouTube, brother."
You gotta let me see this. You gotta send me a picture. I'm missing out on some Doc Holliday shit here. Come on.
I'll have to. Adega, you got to go on camera next Thursday. Adega always comes on Thursday nights, and we do some either history. We've been doing horror all month. This month, we're doing horror stuff.
Oh, it sounds like such fun.
It is Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central on this channel. Me and Adega do a show every Thursday.
I feel really sad I've been missing out. I did not know this.
Yep.
You missed a good one last night.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Well, you can rewatch it. I think it,
Well, I mean, yeah, I'll rewatch it, but ooh. I mean, for me, the Halloween season starts in the middle of September.
Yeah.
And so I've been wanting to do spooky stuff like, live streams and where we're looking at weird videos, like haunted places, this, that, the other. and like all that kind of came to a halt, sadly, like for a bit. And what can we get? There you go.
Oh, shit. And Mark's finally off the damn phone to listen. Thank you so much, Mark.
Oh, he came just in time for that one.
And Lariana Creel, Adega is working those cool glasses. Oh, big kiss from Moira Kitty to Lariana Creel.
She is so lovely.
She is, absolutely. She is absolutely. So on to episode 4. And by this time, I am sold. I am sold. And then we get the lovely, absolutely lovely and stunning Gina Carano.
Yes.
Cara Dune.
As Cara Dune.
I was amazed how stocky she was. I was like, damn, girl.
Oh, she's thick.
I know, right? Like, that's stocky. I'm like, damn. Like, she built like a brick shit house. Holy shit.
She looked a lot like she did in the Deadpool movie, that first Deadpool.
She looked a little less stocky in Deadpool. She still looked thick, but she didn't look that stocky. I mean, maybe it's her uniform in Mandalorian that does it. But I
think that
it took me like an episode or two to realize. Oh wait, superhero landing girl. Oh my god, from Deadpool. She looked like her, but she kind of looked different, so it threw me off.
I knew her from MMA, and Dave Bob knew her from MMA because she was in MMA. But when I saw her in Deadpool, it took me a minute to realize who the hell she was.
Yeah,
I was like, I know her.
She's a lot bigger than she was when she was in the MMA, or else it's just the outfits or whatever. I'm not real sure, but
they are a little bulky.
And a pod racing Palpatine, she could beat the living snot out of me.
Oh, she could probably beat the living snot.
I would not want to get hit by her.
And this is when we talk about like kick-ass female characters that are written right, that are done right. This is one of them. This is one of those characters. Cara Dune is one of those characters. You're like, damn, she was a Republic shock trooper. She's from Alderaan, so she's got a big ass chip on her shoulder.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd definitely do it.
Oh yeah, that right there, is the reason that she was so relentless. She hated the Empire, hated them.
Well, the Alderaanians, they had no weapons. You hear Leia say that, but this was a planet of peaceful people. They did not go to war. They did not fight. They were a peaceful race that had absolutely no weapons. And their entire planet was destroyed because the Empire knew that Leia and her father were supporting the rebels.
Yeah, they had a lot of influence, and the Empire was getting rid of that influence too.
Pod Racing Palpatine, I felt this episode was the weakest, some good moments, but only the whole kind of felt like a filler episode. I really liked the fight with the AT-AT. I really liked that fight with the AT-AT. When the Mandalorian realizes they've got an AT-AT, he was like, there's no way we can do this. And they figure out a way anyway. They figure out a way to do it.
First thing both of them tell them was, hey, look, we got to, you just got to leave. We can't fight this thing. It's, too much for us.
And Lorena Creel, you from Alderaan? Well, damn, that's all I needed to know. That's right. That's right. But yeah, it's you meet Gina, she's in a bar, they end up squaring off, and they kind of get neither one of them gets the upper hand in the end. They're both almost equally matched, and then
get distracted because the baby comes up there with a little cup of soup, kind of like, what are y'all doing?
Yes.
And they're like, oh, not in front of the child. Oops. No fighting in front of the children.
And Latino slant Loki, I'd wrestle a moment through with her. Maury, you know all the coolest people. You do.
Yeah.
I am very lucky in that. I just feel bad that they don't know the coolest people because I'm kind of a spaz.
Yeah, go get some Ewoks to fight the AT-AT.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the way when they were sitting in the bar afterwards, after the fight and everything. She
Yeah.
pretty much said, "Look, I was here first. You know, you're
Go
gonna have to
find
get
it.
on, go find you your own planet."
Oh,
And Mark, yes, sir, you are correct. It's the
ATST.
ATST, not the AT-AT.
ah,
Yeah, the AT-AT's the big
big
four, the
four-legged one.
camel walker. You are correct, sir.
yeah. I missed that part too. I did.
I'm gonna tell you what, they did a good job with that thing because they made it look especially menacing with those red eyes and all that. They did a good job on that.
Oh, wrong one. Philip A. Demick. I really love the look of the AT rising out of the swamp. It was stupid they didn't get his ship to shoot. Yeah, if he had his ship on remote and flown his ship in and had it just blast the shit out of the ATST, that would have been really cool. Chicken Walker, I think, is another name for it, the Chicken Walker. And good morning, Captain Shrek. And I think you are correct. Latino Slant would let her win. Absolutely.
I'd let her.
Moira would let her.
She could
She
pin
is
me
a handsome woman. I'm just saying.
she could pin me anytime.
Let's
And
hope she's gentle.
And yes, Pod Racing Palpatine, you were correct. I've been to Amsterdam. Last time I saw a red light through a window was in Amsterdam. Yes. Yeah. And last time I saw a red light through a window, it was in Amsterdam as well. So,
There you go.
all-terrain scout transport. Yes, the Rena Creel knows her shit. I tell you what, yeah, all-terrain scout transport, the Chicken Waka. Yes.
Now y'all kind of quit throwing that chicken around.
And red light is good for the eyes at night.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys have any of the hand blasters from the original trilogy back in the day? No, the Han Solo's blaster had a little clear piece of plastic that you could look through. That was in the little scope of the gun. But the Imperial Scout Troopers on the speeder bikes, their little blaster pistols had a red nightlight that you could see at night. So you could actually look through the scope of their little hand blasters, and it had a little red night vision light. I thought that was the coolest shit. Yeah, I actually like disassembled that as a kid, and I had like a mock-up of a M16, and I like duct taped that to the top of the M16 when I was a kid.
That's some shit I would have done. You're a man after my own heart. Holy shit.
I used to have red dot scopes on all my handguns back when I was shooting in the competition with that IPSC and all that. We had those red dot scopes on the top, but I'm sure that's not what you're talking about.
No, this was like a red night vision scope, and it had a little light inside so it could illuminate what you were seeing. And it was just a cool little add-on to a toy pistol that they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to put this red scope, and so you could see better at night. It was a cool little add-on to a toy. And I thought I thought it was so cool. I actually like took it apart. I unscrewed it from the gun, pulled it off, and duct taped it to a damn rifle so that it, I could be like, oh, looking through the red nightlight.
We would have been friends as kids.
Oh yeah. I had a couple of actual grenades. I had like they were hollowed out, so they had all the gunpowder and everything taken out. Yeah. So whenever we went to war, they were like, "Okay, Loki carries the grenades because he's got the actual metal grenades."
Like you don't really actually want to throw it towards somebody just in case. Those things weigh like half a pound. Like
the rule was to roll it. We rolled them.
Hit them.
Yeah, no overhand. Yeah, no overhand throwing. All you could do was like underhand toss it and let it roll.
Exactly. Yes, I'm sitting here like I think we have one in just the other room, and even hollowed out, that thing's got some heft to it. It's the pineapple looking one, and I'm like, yeah, mighty. I'm
Yeah,
like, you hit somebody and do some damage.
I have one somewhere around here. I think it's probably put up. I don't remember where I put it, but
Oh my God, we're all three weirdos.
There was a shop in Galveston that I used to go to when I was a kid, and it was called Bubba's Army Surplus. And it was on the Strand in Galveston. And that's where I got all my military gear. I had jackets, I had trench coats. I loved going to that store as a kid because it was like I had a giant tank shell in the corner of my game room, this giant tank shell that, of course, was dead. They'd taken everything out of it, but it was sitting in the corner of my game room. I think I spent like $100 getting that from Bubba's Army Surplus. But yeah, anything weapons wise back in the day, I had to have it. So the guns from Star Wars, I had all the guns. I had real stuff that I got from Bubba's Army Surplus. I even had a night vision setup that actually worked. That cost me about $200.
I'm jealous.
But
I had
loved
we had gone to a air show, and they had a Spectre gunship, and they happened to have an extra shell, and I can't remember. I think it was there was a 45 millimeter shell this big, and then they had like a 150 millimeter shell. I think it was about that big around and that long, hollowed out. It was just the shell casing, and I was like, "Can I have that?" And they're like, "Sure." I'm like, oh. Sorry, I was just really happy with that story.
girls get everything. A little boy, they probably wouldn't have given it to me.
Why would they not? They weren't using it. It had been used.
Well, for one thing, by the time when I was a kid, that was back in the 60s, so I don't think they would have been giving away stuff back then. They didn't even have air shows up, and the first air show I went to was at Barksdale Air Force Base, which I live very close to, and they have one every year out here. I think this year it was canceled because of the bug, but that thing has all kinds of neat airplanes out there, that air show.
And Pat Steven Seagal ate Pablo Hidalgo. Why is that rooster talking? Because we have a talking. It's not a rooster, son. It's a chicken hawk.
I have cat ears. You're not complaining about the cat talking. Are you being speciest?
Oh God. And Bod Racing Palpatine with a $2.99 lira super chat. Loving the chat. Thanks for lifting my mood. Thank you so very much, Pod Racing Palpatine. And just for you, we're going to do something special for you, brother. Skull! Some Gojira destruction from Godzilla.
I did not see that coming.
Every once in a while, I get throw in a.
Yeah, that's his second favorite skull there. You gotta hang around for if he gets a really good one, you'll get to see Mexican Iron Mans.
If I didn't have zero money in my PayPal, I'd throw one in just to see what you do next.
Thank you so much, Pablo, and thank you so much, or Pablo. Why did I say Pablo? Because fucking Fat Stevens got me all screwed up. Pod Racing Palpatine. Thank you very much. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla. Thank you. Oh yeah, I'll give another one here. 1 second, just so everybody knows we're gonna be here for a few more minutes. I hope you all.
Stick around.
Freaking Commando? That was Commando, wasn't it?
Predator.
That was Predator?
Yeah, that was Predator. Stick around.
Wait, why was he killing another guy in Predator?
That was the mercenaries that they were originally sent out to get.
Oh, because I remember in Commando he had the.
Yep, he had
so that's
that.
why I was confused.
Yep, him and his team take out a group of mercenaries at the beginning of Predator, and that's
It's
why
been
the
a while
Predator.
since I've seen it, but I thought they got there and they found a lot of the mercenaries were already dead and skinned.
No, that was their own guys that were sent in the first time. That was the team that Carl Weathers had sent in, and they never reported back. So he called Dutch and them to go in and do it.
And I remember Dutch getting mad that he didn't tell him the truth before they got there. I remember that part.
Yep. And Pod Racing Palpatine, I'll answer to mostly anything. I'm sorry, Rob, for calling you Pablo. It's all Pat Stevens' fault. Hashtag blame Pat Steven. Or blame Loki. Who knows?
Let's not start a hashtag.
But that's what we do on this show is start hashtags. We've got
hashtag blame Loki.
Hashtag blame Loki. We've got hashtag purple rain for Purple Valkyrie. We've got hashtag blame Sammy because she's never seen Lord of the Rings or half other dozen movies like The Matrix and Lord of the Rings.
How the hell you not seen Matrix?
So
kids these days. I just can't.
Oh, so what did you guys think about before we get out of here? Because we have run just a tad bit long, but I don't care. We'll start with Moira. What did you think about the first half of The Mandalorian, the first 4 episodes? If you had to give it a rating.
Oh, well, it's a little tricky because I started getting kind of about where they met that mechanic woman and she had to babysit the child. And she
that was
like
after.
Kind of a shit. She was like a really shitty, shisty babysitter, and I didn't like her. And I was kind of like, I mean, but the stuff before that, like, I could give that like a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Right? Yes.
Yeah, we do not kneel. That's right. That's another hashtag.
Skipping.
Cobalt and Pudgy Loki was right about cookies. I'm always right about cookies. I love cookies.
Do you like the soft cookies or the crumbly cookies?
All of it. All of it. I'm a cookie monster. No, cookie.
Okay.
No.
Soft cookies would be my preferred answer, but at least you're an equal opportunity cookie person. I can give you credit for that.
I love warm cookies right out of the oven. I don't care if they burn my mouth or not. I'm like, I burning, but I love it.
Oh, I care. Just a little bit.
I'll burn my mouth. I don't give a shit. I want those warm, moist cookies. If it's moist, I like it. Anyway, Dave Bob, what did you give these four episodes?
Overall, I would say somewhere around about a 7 out of 10. There were, weak spots. Some of the shows, were weaker than others, but overall, I'll give it a solid 7.5.
I'm right there with you. A 7, a good 7.5. I like it. I was not sold on the first episode. Oh shit. Okay. Mark the Infinitely Tired with the $2.99 super chat. Blast the horn for our missing Mexican. Thank you so very much, Mark the Infinitely Tired. And here it is, just for Mexican Iron Man, straight from Bodega Outlaw. Skull!
The ringing won't stop.
And the Day Outlaw blew up the taco truck once again. Thank you so very much, Mark the Infinitely Tired. And that was for you, Mexican Iron Man. I know you haven't been feeling well, brother. We all love you. We all miss you. We know you've been working hard, even though you have been so sick. So, guys, give a big shout out to Mexican Iron Man because he has been down and out lately, and he is still been there for Valhalla big time, especially for me the last couple of days. Even though he has been so sick, he has been taking my calls and helping me with some stuff that we've been working on the back end of this show. And I absolutely appreciate it. If anybody out there has been paying attention, in the description, you will see something that says Mornings of Mischief is Give me 1 second, and you will see Loki's Mornings of Mischief is a trademark of Stone Loki Enterprises Incorporated. All rights reserved. Loki's Mornings of Mischief and Stone Loki Enterprises are now an actual corporation, thanks to Mexican Iron Man. So we are now a corporation. All of the Bark and Bites, all of the stuff that we've got on the show is officially getting copyright. So that to protect Valhalla, to protect the brand, and a huge thank you for Mexican Iron Man, because if it wasn't for him, this would not have happened. So a lot of love, and he has done that over the last couple of days, even though he has been so ill. He said, "Hey Loki, we've got to get you copyrighted so that we protect the brand and we protect the Bark and Bite symbols and your T-shirt and your merchandise." Big thank you to Mexican Iron Man. He is the best executive producer I think I could have had. He has really come through.
Get better, Mexican Iron Man.
Indeed. Yes, Mexican Iron Man. I hope you get better soon. But I completely agree with you, Dave Bob. 7.5, maybe an 8. I wasn't sold on the first episode. I wasn't sold on the music to this show until I got into it. And because I was like, it's not Star Wars. It's not Star Wars music. What the hell are they doing? But then I found myself going da da dun 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 da da dun da 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 dun da da dun da da dun dun dun, and it was that episode with Favreau flying next to the Mandalorian ship and giving that salute, and you hear that music, and you're just like, yes.
It kind of had to grow on you.
Yeah,
I've had songs like that.
And now, I mean, it's up there with like Ecstasy of Gold, you know, wah, 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 na, 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 na. So, thank you everyone so much. Thank you, Moira Kitty, for being here. Thank you, Dave Bob. Absolutely, positively love all y'all. Thank you everybody for hanging out this morning and checking us out. Make sure you are still subscribed to this channel. YouTube has been doing some weird shit and been doing rollbacks, and I'm losing views. It's the weirdest damn thing that's ever happened. I'll go from like
last year really bad.
No, they're doing it this year. I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's like they're resetting things and rolling back.
The goalpost moves constantly with these twats.
It does. It does. And Piano Dean, howdy Loki, howdy Piano Dean. It's so good to see you again, brother. So, guys, we will be back next Monday. We will be back with some stuff, and check us out, Ben. Thank you so very much, everybody. Seriously, and thank you, Moira, for hopping in today.
Oh,
Everybody,
thank you, sweetie.
The Valkyries are coming up in less than an hour, guys, at 10 a.m. Don't forget the Valkyries in 54 minutes. Chris Berger just threw out a reminder. Remember to hit up the Valkyries in 45 minutes. They're going to have a great show today. And Dee Dee Myers, thank you. Dee Dee Myers says, excellent show today, Loki. The panel's been great. Panel's been absolutely great. P Spinner of Fire. Everybody take care, and we will catch you guys next week. Have a good one. Have a safe one. See you guys later.
Have a great day, folks.
Doctor and author of Dega Outlaw. Guardian Sit Room. Guardian of the Void, Lady Miss. Guardian, Mr. CCDV. Guardian, Jedi Bill, 797. Guardian, Nina. Guardian, Gavin Erickson. Dave Bob, the rooster in there now. Crimson Mist. Envy Geek and Mrs. Geek. Sank the North 9. And to my wrenches of Valhalla, Samantha Joe, Purple Valkyrie, and Chris Persia.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.